Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, We're the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And this is our non-spoiler review for Disney's Cruella. If you've seen our trailer reactions, you know how much we were hyped to see this movie. We love the cast. We got Emma in this already, two powerhouses in one. And it looked like, just from the trailer alone, that Emma Stone was having the time of her life portraying Cruella. Of course, this is her origin story. And typically for me, just as a preference, I don't feel like I need to see a villain's backstory play out and like why they became the way they are and why they're more of a sympathetic character. Like, I don't love seeing that, especially because villains are so interesting to me because they fully believe in what they're doing is the right thing for them, but even though, and they don't realize
the most interesting villains are like that.
Correct.
The ones that are the most boring are the "Mwahaha, I do evil things."
Depending on what context it is, but you're absolutely right. So, and this isn't the first time we've seen a villain origin story, specifically in the Disneyverse. We saw it with Maleficent.
Yes.
Which I, by the way, you guys, was so excited about, and I was like, who are they going to get to play Maleficent?
And
Angelina Jolie.
I am
with them
sold.
cheekbones. Yeah, sold. And then I was pretty disappointed because I would say, out of all the villains in Disney, Maleficent is like my top 3.
Yes.
She's in my top 3.
And also, that was one of my big concerns about this movie, was when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I am intrigued, I like it. However, I was really nervous that they were going to do the misunderstood person. It's not really their villain, they're not really bad, they're just misunderstood, or their motivations are still, of a good person. And I was so afraid that was going to get. But I was not let down with Cruella. We got to see the rise of a villain. That is what I've been wanting to see. I was afraid that it was going to turn into what Wicked did, what Maleficent did, and make it so they were really a good guy all along. No, I want to see a bad person.
Correct.
And I want to cheer for them.
Yeah, we said in our trailer reactions, let Cruella, or at least I said it, let Cruella be bad, and I don't necessarily need it to be like a misunderstood storyline. I think we've been there and done that. I think we've also noticed that it doesn't always work. It can work, but it doesn't always work, and it's not always satisfying. But for this story, it all really worked out. Cruella, as Emma Stone said, as Cruella, or as Estella, is that she was like, I was born bad. And she really was born bad, and that was the through line. Did she have some defining moments that, she's not bad to the bone? Yes, but does it still serve her purpose? Yes. Is she, we're seeing, like you said, the rise of the villain here that we will later see in 101 Dalmatian. And you guys, I'll just say this kind of towards the top. I am obsessed with the movie. The writing, the cinematography and the way they colored everything, the performances, the use of music is all on point for me in this movie. Like, this movie had no right to be this good.
Exactly.
I kept on saying, and look, I will say my expectation for this film was pretty high because I really loved the trailer. I love this punk rock vibe, in the 70s, and I was like, yeah, all right. Visually, everything was stunning in the trailer. I'm like, please, 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 just let it be just good enough.
Yeah.
This is please go see this movie, whether it's on Disney Plus with premium access or you want to go to a theater. Please go see this movie. You don't want to miss it. I love the storyline that they gave us, and I'll just go ahead and give you guys a very brief plot synopsis before, without giving anything major away. So Cruella was not born Cruella. She was born Estella. But she was a troublemaker from day one, kind of like chaos crew, chaotic from day one. If she was a D&D character, she'd be even if she was in your adventuring party, you kind of be like, oh my gosh, she is chaotic. She's crazy. And that was established right from the beginning. It wasn't like she was born this angelic, perfect little girl and suffered this and that or was bullied and then she turned bad. No, that was the through line. And I love that they established that very early on. The story takes us through how she gets to London, how she meets Jasper and Horace, who you will also love
Oh my
in
gosh.
this movie. How she eventually kind of, I guess, meets the Baroness.
Yeah.
And how that relationship, and that's where I would say once she meets the Baroness and they start to develop this kind of work relationship, if you will.
They had a really good little dabbling or a little bit of sprinkling of like the Devil Wears Prada kind of a thing. And I think they did that very well. Something that is just a really good through line is the interactions between all of the characters, Cruella and Jasper and Horace, the character development of Jasper and Horace, and Cruella's relationship to the Baroness and how it started, how it grew, and where it ended up. I think was just beautifully executed throughout this entire movie. And you see Emma Stone working this character, so you can see almost exactly where she's tilting at any given moment when it comes to being a good character and being Cruella. So you see this multiple personality almost of Estella,
like a persona that she takes on.
Yes,
almost. But it's like she's the happiest in this persona. Like, yes, I'm born Estella, but Cruella is who she is. And that line, I know people saw it in the trailer, like, oh god, that's gonna be cheesy. I promise you, it's not in the film. You're gonna have a great time watching this. And as we know, Cruella. As you can see from the trailers, it's all about she's very intertwined in the fashion world. Estella has a talent for fashion design. She has wanted to work as a fashion designer. I think ever since she realized I can draw and I have all this crazy amazing idea, which leads her to meeting the Baroness and how they work together. So the way they use fashion and couture and runway and that sort of how it works in the industry, I love how they weave that really, really well through the movie, and that's really how a lot of the plots play out and a lot of the major set pieces we get to see in this film, which is fantastic. And of course, with set pieces, that brings us the soundtrack for this film.
Oh my gosh.
Really well used. All the musical cues, I would say, came in at the right time, and it just fits so well that you're like, yes, I recognize it, I see what they're doing with it, and I am going with it. It's fantastic.
A really good job on using 70s pop music to be able to accentuate every single point in this movie, and just to make you feel the vibe, to make you feel that beat and be like, yeah, getting into it more and more for every single accentuated point that they wanted to make with the music.
I would also want to, as a complete side note, in an alternate universe, to see Emma Stone's Baroness meet up with Meryl Streep from Devil Wears Prada, and see how these two interact with each other, because they're similar yet not the same, and I wonder who could outdo each other. That would be just something to watch for. But anyways, that's a whole sidebar, and let's go ahead and bring it back to the movie. We enjoyed it so much. Is there something else you want to add before we are rating?
The use of color in this was also done very well. Even when it's just simple black and white, the way that they used it, the way they had the background versus the forefront of the of each scene, and I just thought it was vibrant in some places, but then when it got dark and gritty, they were able to use that exceptionally well.
Yeah, the coloring is beautiful in this, and I will also say, because we know that Cruella is a villain from 101 Dalmatians, they did add a couple of little Easter eggs from 101 Dalmatians in there. You'll know when you see it. It's not super obvious, but they know that this, potentially, if they ever want to do a Cruella 2 or a live action
101 Dalmatians,
they could with using this story as a starting point and go that way, if they ever want to. I'm not saying they have to, but it is nice to see them pay tribute to 101 Dalmatians just a little bit in this film here and there. So if you're a Disney fan, make sure you look out for that. With that said, let's go ahead and give our rating of this movie, Dustin.
Catch it opening night. Definitely, 100%. This is a great movie, lots of fun. You'll have fun watching it, and I cannot recommend it enough.
Yes, I'm telling you, there's things in this movie that you're not going to be ready for. Watch out. I think in about, embargo's lifting 2 days before this movie hits theaters, but once it hits theaters, people are going to be talking about it nonstop. I'm definitely going to pick up the soundtrack, and my rating for this movie is also catch it opening night. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've seen Cruella, sans spoilers, let us know what your thought is on the movie in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.